Okay, we are officially live. And again, guys, I'm so sorry you have to experience whatever the hell this is, but welcome to the channel. We'll get various awkward poses, and that comes free of charge. All right, so I'm going to get our list ready here, and we'll go from there. As always, my weekend was good. Not as always. Sometimes you have a bad weekend, sometimes that happens. But how was everyone else's weekend? So February, I have no idea how to spell February, so we are just going to kind of wing it. No, I think I spelled it right. Nope. Said that last part wrong. I said right, wrong. Anyway. All right, February 24th, 2025. Crazy that it's 2025, because I'm still thinking it's 2024. I feel like it's still 2020. You know what I mean? Feels like there was a time skip and now we're here. Yeah, so let's go from here and let's get started on these energy readings here. So we're just going to do a reading for February 25th, which is tomorrow. Just kind of seeing what tomorrow has to hold for us. But I'm just getting stuff ready here. So let's go like this. There we go. All right. So, yeah, how was everyone else's weekend? Mine was good. Had to do chores. I promise I will get this set up in the other room to where we can kind of see things in a little bit better way. Even though this doesn't look too bad, so yeah, maybe I'll keep it in here. It's kind of a lot. It is kind of nicer, and you guys get to see the cats. Okay, let's shuffle the cards though and get ready for doing this. I have our free list ready to go. I just need someone to be like, hey, I'll claim a spot and just chat with me in general. Okay, there we go. And you guys can't see what I'm doing, but I'm doing some magical stuff. Just getting my notes organized here. Which, by the way, if you guys haven't used Apple's Notes, they're actually pretty good. That's what I've been using. Okay. Alrighty. Did anyone do anything fun on the weekend? Because all I did was basically chores. And there's nothing wrong with that. You got to catch up on chores. Hey there, Ari. I can put you down. We're just going to read tomorrow's energy first, and then I can start with your reading here. But yeah, so let's do this. How was your weekend, Ari? Or Ari? Actually, not sure how to say it. Oh, got a thumbs up. Thank you so much. Appreciate that so much. Okay, so let's get stuff started here. Feels like it's warming up. I'm in Utah, so if I say it feels like it's warming up, it's getting a little warm, which is good because I got to go to the gym today, walk down there, and it's like a few miles to get there and then a few miles to come back or a couple miles to come back. And so it's a good way to kind of, I call it my pre-workout workout. But walked down there, weather was beautiful, absolutely beautiful today. So hopefully where you guys are at, the weather is also nice. Because, yeah, it was cool. I'd love an early spring. I would love an early spring. You know, the winter stuff, after a little bit, kind of gets you down. And so I do like an early spring, believe it or not. But I don't like an early summer, because a lot of times, especially here in Utah, we'll just skip spring, go straight into summer, and it's a bummer because it is hot. It gets very hot in Utah. Utah and Arizona. Arizona gets more hot, and Nevada is similar to Arizona, but Utah is still considered a desert location, so it does get hot. All right, let's see what we can do here for the energies. All right, so we have the Page of Wands, the King of Cups in reverse, and the Nine of Wands. Look at that. Okay, Nine of Wands. So if you look at that card right there, you can see that person's holding up 2 wands and they're climbing up kind of like a pyramid shape. And the Nine of Wands can be a card where we're getting rid of burdens, we're moving past certain things. And so it can be a card where we're sort of moving on, right? Just like this person, we're taking those steps up the pyramid. And I'm starting with this one first because to me it feels like the most kind of prevalent energy for the reading. So I'm going to start reading with that one first. Okay. Page of Wands. So this is for tomorrow's energy. And the Page of Wands to me it can be new beginnings. It can be that feeling of like that springtime kind of essence that I was talking about, or even summer. But Page of Wands it's a very kind of enthusiastic kind of energy. And it's a very beautiful kind of energy. New beginnings. I'd call it like baby chick energy, where it's like things can start over. There can be a sense of newness. Newness, that's a word, right? I'm pretty sure. But this here is a very, very beautiful card. So I would say, moving forward, look into starting things with a fresh sense of perspective and a fresh sense of newness. All right. That is the word of the day. Webster's Dictionary has nothing on me. I wrote the book, but I also have dyslexia, so it is a mess. Don't know. King of Cups in reverse. Okay. This can be refusing to let go of something, possibly a water sign, Scorpio, Cancer, or the other one. The water signs. Come on. Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces. There we go. I did it. Everyone congratulate me. I did it. The guy who's supposed to know this stuff knows a little bit of this stuff. So yeah, holding on to energies that could be basically stopping you or stifling you, holding you back, making it difficult for you to move on. All right. And then the Nine of Wands. Like I said before, it can just feel like this is kind of a burden. Things should be flowing more effortlessly. Things should be flowing more smoothly. And they're just not. And that's okay. We have to be okay with that, because it doesn't mean that things aren't happening. Just because it's not flowing the way that you want it to doesn't mean that it's not flowing at all. It just means that it's kind of taking its time. And sometimes it's good to take its time. Most times we want things to happen quickly, and we need to let things build up and release when they are ready versus when we feel like they're ready. Because humans, we're very impulsive. We're very kind of behavioral driven. And so we feel like if we do something a certain way, things should be done quicker. And sometimes that isn't the case. All right. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to look at 2 energy oracle cards here, and then we'll go from there. So give me 1 second while we shuffle these cards up here. And as we shuffle, we will sing a very, very bad rendition of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Okay, no one wants to hear that, so we're going to stop. I just lost a viewer. That's how it is. That's how it is. No one wants to hear me sing that, especially badly. And I am good at singing bad. You guys would be impressed. You'd be like, wow, he's really good at doing that in a bad way. All right, one more shuffle. One more shuffle. Hey there, Kiru, how you doing? How are you doing? Okay. One more shuffle. Okay. There we go. All right, let's look at some of these energy oracle cards, see what we get. Oh, shoved that one right into your face. Adjacent possibilities. Okay. Okay, you know what? Let's take a look at that one again. If we look at that, there's doors everywhere, and that's something we need to see. Hey, Marijana, how you doing? That's something we need to see and we need to understand, is that there's always adjacent possibilities. Like I've said so many times, we do something, we feel like we know the way it needs to go, and a lot of times we don't. Okay? There's so many times I've had the perfect plan, or what I felt like was the perfect plan. Okay, I'm not the best planner, but I've had a plan. I've had something I've wanted to do, and I have it strategized, and I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to do it, and as soon as I start, there's like 5 possibilities I didn't plan for, and I'm not that bad at planning, but I'm telling you, if there was, with the way my sense of planning is, I would discover a new direction. I would discover new numbers. I would discover new letters in the alphabet. I'd be like, oh, I didn't know that existed. Because that's just how it is. Life tends to throw you curveballs, and that's okay. And with the 9 of Wands energy that we have here, the 9 of Wands energy feels like a lot, but there are still possibilities. There are still adjacent possibilities. There are still things going on that can be for our best interest. So don't lose hope. Don't think you're doing something wrong. Sometimes it just takes a minute. All right. Okay. Then we got this card here. This one is patient. Yeah, see, patience, right? What was I talking about? We got to be patient. We got to be waiting. I love that card popped up, because that is literally the whole thing of this reading is we're getting ready to do something, all right? We're feeling, hey, Elizabeth, we're feeling like it's time to finally step into our power. We're feeling like it's time to finally do something. And then we're feeling that we are met with what feels like kind of, I will call it like a shadow resistance, where it feels like there's something blocking us. We don't know what the hell it is. We just know that it's there. And we know that it is annoying because it feels like it's stopping our progress. But sometimes things are stopping our progress, not to stop it, but to contain the momentum so that there can be a burst of energy moving forward. Does that make sense? It's not to stop it, but it's to make it so that there's this concentration and then a burst moving forward, and it helps you to continue moving forward. Hey there, Emily. Emmy, good evening. Just wanted to say hi, but I cannot stay. That is okay. That is all right, but thank you for saying hi. See you next time. You're not in contact. Okay. All right, so I'll start adding people to the list here because we're done with this part of the reading. So let's do Ari. All right, Ari, what's your question? And then we can do Karu. Gotta move this over so we can see it here. You're good. You're good. I'll add you, Anita. Let's do that. Marjana, Elizabeth. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah. So that's kind of what we're looking at there. So let's move on to doing the free part of the reading. I know you guys are excited to do this part. I like doing this part too. I get to connect with you guys, and we get to move on to some kind of more personal questions. I mean, that's what it's all about. Okay. All right. We might go into some philosophy stuff a little bit later. We'll talk about some thoughts I've been having and how that can relate to some different kind of things going on in the spiritual realm. But yeah, so I'm looking here. And so Ari, did you post? Or you're probably getting ready to post, or you're typing. Okay, 1 second here. Hold on. All right. So are we... the only reason I kind of get on your guys' butts about posting a little bit is because sometimes when you do post, it will not post for whatever reason, sometimes. And so that's why if I seem a little weird with it and I'm trying to hurry you guys up, I'm not doing it to like make you feel uncomfortable. I'm doing it because sometimes for whatever reason, you will post it and it won't show up. So I don't know if that's happening or not. Okay. Can you tell me, how would things be if I lived in either one of these cities, Phoenix, Houston, or Las Vegas? Like which would be the best option if I had the chance to move next year? Okay. So, Venetius, how you doing, bud? Hello to you too. Hello. I can put you on the list too. Hold on. We got Venetius here. Okay. Not everyone has Venetius. It's just this channel and whoever else he visits. But you're always welcome, Venetius. Always. Okay, so like, which would be the best opportunity chance to move next year? I probably won't get this chance to move out of state this year, so I'm asking about next year instead. Okay, so I'm going to look at all of these right here, and I'm going to say Phoenix is hot as hell, Las Vegas is hot as hell, and Houston, I think, would be nice. Right? Venetius doesn't visit many places, to be honest. It's okay, Venetius. I'm the same way. It's literally bathroom, my room, kitchen, and then that's it. And sometimes it's just bathroom. Let's be honest. But yeah, so let's look here. I will draw 3 cards. One of them will show each of the energies. Okay, so one of them will be for Phoenix, one will be for Houston, and one will be for Las Vegas. And then I will draw a 4th card, and we will see what it would be like on Mars. Just to see. Elon wants to go there. There has to be a reason. Kitchen is beautiful. It must go. I know. I've been meaning to visit. Oh, they have a fridge. There's a stove in there. I'm wanting to see that microwave. One of the 7 wonders of my house. It would be hot, but I'll take hot weather over the weather I'm having now, which I would assume is cold weather. It's bone chilling. Okay, all right. You need some of that lizard weather. I got you. Egyptian Famous, how are you doing? I can put you on the list here. Hold on. Welcome to the channel, guys. Like and subscribe if you have not done so, and if you have not, that hurts my feelings. But you know what? We're gonna no, that hurts pretty good. All right, let's do 3 cards here. All right. Ooh. Okay, so it is, you said, Phoenix, Houston, and Las Vegas. All right, so here's what I got for you. All right, and I'm not trying to be biased here, but the very first card I saw that I liked was this one, 3 of Cups. You're going to Houston. That's it. You are welcome, Egyptian. So you're going to Houston. I hope you like it there. No, so here's the thing. So you have Houston. I basically matched the cards to what you had. The very first one you said was Phoenix. All right, so Phoenix, we get the 8 of Cups. All right. Phoenix, we get the 8 of Cups, and it's like someone looking away. They're looking at other options. I don't feel Phoenix would be fulfilling, okay? And it never is. I'm just going to throw that out there. I'm sorry if you guys are in Phoenix, but it's hot as hell. You guys have scorpions and scary cactuses, and I don't like it. I don't. And maybe I'm being biased here, but you guys need to work on your shit. Okay, then we have for Las Vegas, I think was the last one you said, right? You said, okay, Las Vegas, we have the 10 of coins. So that to me is a really good one. So if you're going for a career, Las Vegas would be where to go. But if you're wanting to meet people, not necessarily a romantic interest, but possibly more friends or having more of a friend group or a social group, I would say 3 of Cups, Houston. So Houston's more like if you're wanting to meet people, socialize more, and then Vegas could possibly be a move where you could make more money, right? I hear if you get addicted to slot machines, good things can happen. So that's, I'm going to work on that. I'm going to work on having more addictions this year. That's one of them, my New Year's resolution. So I was hoping to get Phoenix or Las Vegas due to being closer to California, but it is what it is. It's not like I can't visit California from Texas. It's just not as close. Well, they have these, and people don't know about this, but they have these metal birds, these giant metal birds that you can sit inside of, and they give you food, and you have to have this paper to get on board of these metal birds, but they take you places. I've heard some people having good experiences, so fingers crossed. But yeah, so that's what I'm seeing for you, Ari. Hopefully that makes sense, and that's good for you. If I choose to live in Las Vegas, I could visit California and try to get with men from there. Yes, there could be a new base of operations. Thank you for the read. You're welcome. There could be a new base of operations, and Las Vegas, I don't feel like that would be too bad of a place to meet people. So I'm in Utah, and Vegas is always one of those places that's like, what am I, 4 hours away from Vegas at any point in time. Sometimes I'm a little longer away from Vegas because I'm sleeping, so it's going to take me a minute, but about 4 hours. And there seems to be a lot of options in Vegas, California. So I feel like Vegas is a good hub to like branch out and see a bunch of different things. So yeah, hopefully that gives you some insight. But you could visit these other places too. Visit, see what you like, and then see what kind of resonates, what looks good, what doesn't, and go from there. Okay. So let's go to the next one here. Kiru, are you still there? Thank you. Last week, I applied for a job at my current place of work, and I'm curious about my prospects. If I get it, will it last, or should I stay put where I am? Okay. You're next, Anita. So right after this one, it'll be your turn. You apply for a job at the current place of work, and you're curious about your prospects. If you get it, will it last, or should you stay put where you are? That's going to be up to you and the circumstances surrounding it, right? These kinds of questions, I don't like to answer because it's putting way too much control in my hands. It's making it so that if a card says a certain thing, you may not do something with your life, where I would say, honestly, kind of go with the flow. And also that question kind of has a couple little things in it too. So, okay, I'll put you on the list, MJ. Hold on. So let's look at that question again, because I think we could ask it a little bit more straightforward. So 1 second here. So let's do MJ. All right, MJ, you're on the list. You're going to be a minute, but I'll try and move through these a little bit quicker, but still give you guys some answers. So basically, you're wondering if you should stay put. Kiru, is that right? You're kind of thinking, should you stay put, or what's going on? I can look and see that. Okay, let's look and see that. Just the way that was worded, there was some caveats going on there. Or even if you get it. You're very welcome, MJ. You're very welcome. Very welcome. All right, let's do this again. Or even if you get it right. Even if you get it. That's what I was saying. That question had a bunch of like ifs and buts to it. Ifs and ands and buts and stuff. Yes, Veronica, I can add you to the list. Let me grab this here. Let me go like that. There we go. Trixie, how you doing, girl? Good. Okay, this is Trixie. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. She's a very fluffy girl, if you can't tell. Daddy likes the fluff. And you can take that however you want, because it's what I like. But isn't she cute? She's such a cutie. And this one, calicos generally are gallicos. So calicos are generally girls. So yeah, there you go. You guys are learning cat facts. You didn't think you'd click on this video and learn something so revolutionary. Okay, there we go. All right. Let's do this here. One more shuffle. One more shuffle. Let's see what we can get for Kiru. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to say this right here. We have the Queen of Coins. Very good card to get. I like that card a lot. Very powerful kind of card. Then we have the Four of Coins in reverse. Okay. Then we have the Three of Cups in reverse. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this all the time. If we can take opportunities, let's take opportunities, unless they're like toxic opportunities, right? If we stay where we're at, if we're not happy where we're at and we stay where we're at, we're kind of being complacent with not letting energy change and letting things happen. So if we can have something happen, even if it's only for a moment, even if it's kind of a pain in the butt, that might be the way to go. The reason I say that is because, like I said, Queen of Coins, this is someone who is in charge of their own fate, their own destiny, right? So if you do get the job, I would say it might be a good idea to just explore it and see where it goes. But that, to me, seems like a good option. This, though, 4 of Coins in reverse, okay, this is what it looks like upright. That is very, very much kind of like, it's a bunch of coins sitting out. They are cold, okay? You can't put those under your shirt and get them all warm because it's too cold, and you'll get frostbite on your skin, you know? Your little tummy would get hurt. You don't want to put those under your shirt. And then you get the 3 of Cups in reverse, all right? This card here is about opportunities that may be missed in an emotional sense or in a community sense. So I would say if there is an opportunity, if this is something you want to try it and see where it goes. Is it something you can keep? Again, that's going to be up to you, and that's going to be up to how the universe kind of plans things out. The cards can read a lot of this kind of stuff, but at the same time, that's so specific. You know, it's like saying, if I go and get a car, can I keep it? I don't know. Are you going to do the payments for it? Is everything going to be okay that way? What if you get sick and you can't pay for it? Am I going to win the lottery? I don't know. Are you going to buy a ticket? You know, there's so many ways that free will can come into the effect that when I'm doing these kinds of readings, I want to have things stay in a way that's more in alignment with, is it something you are wanting to do and experience? Then do it, then try it. Because if you're applying for something, a part of you wants it. A part of you wants to experience something. And if you get it, great. But don't be thinking in the back of your mind, what if I lose this? Or what if it's not for me? Be thinking in the back of your mind, what if this works for me? Right? Focus more on the positive and what can come out of it than the negative and what could come out of it. Because that's kind of going to be where we can find our power at, is focusing more on that positive kind of mentality, so to speak. And I do have 3 cats, so I know what I'm talking about. Okay? You heard it here third, because my other cat, my cats like to say stuff too, but hopefully that gives you some insight, Kiru, but give it a shot and see what can come of it. All right. Yeah, I agree with you. Thank you so much for responding. Well, I try to be. Thank you so much, though. I appreciate that so much. All right, let's go on to the next one here, and we've got Anita. What was your question? I think you posted it before, actually. Might be up there again, though. Anita and D-Zone, we are not in contact. Okay. I can look at that and see what we got. Thank you. Yes, if you guys could hit the like button, I would appreciate it. Okay. Upcoming future between Anita and D-Zone, contact. Maybe he is with third person. Okay. So, what we'll do, okay, I will do that. I'll look at this for you guys, and thank you for the likes. I'll look at this, but if there is something going on, remember, guys, never wait around, okay? Never wait. If someone is saying goodbye, that's a good time for you to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to see what options are out there for me too. So don't wait on these third parties. I know that can be difficult. I know I'm saying that in a way that sounds like, oh, he doesn't know my situation. But I'm just saying that life doesn't wait for us. And we do not get time back. But let's look at this and see what we can come up with here. Upcoming future between Anita and D-Zone. They're not in contact. Let's take a gander there. All right. Okay, so we get these cards here. We have the 9 of Wands. All right, that's a card of like burden and frustration, climbing up the pyramids, not being able to get there. We have the Fountain in reverse, which to me is just a connection that's not connecting. It's like you're trying to put a plug in the wall and it ain't working. It's like you're everything's going wrong. It's like you got the USB and you can't quite plug it in the right way. That's what it feels like with this connection. It feels like if there's not one thing blocking it, there's several things blocking it. And maybe it's emotional, maybe it's mental, spiritual, financial, family, physical. There's so many ways that this can be blocking the connection. And then I get the 8 of Swords. So possibly on the other person's connection, there can be a sense of victim mentality or a sense of not wanting to try because they'll feel like they can fail, or there can be a sense of you feeling that same way where it's like you're trying to do something, but it's just not working. And so we're kind of put in a situation where we feel kind of stuck. And so in these situations, it's very important for us to claim our energy back. And the way we do that is by cutting the cords. And literally you do that by visualizing, focus on cutting the cords, and it helps you get over these connections that aren't serving us in the moment. That doesn't mean there can't be something in the future. Okay, I'm not saying that, but we're not living in the future. We're never living in the future. We're living in the now, and we need to focus on taking our energy from where it is. If we're constantly focusing on a future with someone and it's not there, then we need to focus on the here and now and have that be our primary focus, because we can't live in the future. We cannot live in the past. We can only live here and now. So I just want that to be sort of that kind of situation so that we can understand that. So I would say for now, move on. Okay, it doesn't mean it's over forever, but focus on you and focus on what's coming in that way. Hey there, Sasha, I'll put you on the list. Okay. All right, Marijana, are you there? Marijana. And thank you, Sasha, for coming in here. Hi, nice to be here. I wanted to ask, how does Kay the Scorpio sleeping booty? Actually, it's pretty funny. I like that. That's what happens if I'm sitting down for too long. You're very welcome, Anita. Thank you for letting me do your reading. Do you want me to put you on the list, sleeping booty? Okay, I'll put you on the list. So bear with me, guys. I will try to do these readings quicker, but I've also got to, I want to spend time and make sure you guys are getting a good reading at the same time. So Marijana, if you're not here, I'll just put you further down the list. That is not an issue. Elizabeth or Venetius, are you here? And then I'm just going to start kind of going through the list, and we can go there. We can go through the list. Okay, so Egyptian famous or MJ? Yes, Shannon Lee, I can put you on there. I can absolutely put you on the list here. 1 second. One second, you guys, hold on. Okay. All right. Okay, so Shannon. All right, you'll have to wait a little bit, guys, to get your reading, but everyone will get their readings. Okay. All righty. And remember to like the video. Okay, so then Veronica or Sasha? Veronica was here a second ago, and Sasha just barely came in. Okay, MJ's here, Veronica's here. Okay, so MJ, you go, and then Veronica, it will be your turn. So MJ, you write your question. Veronica, you can write your question. And I'm going to do MJ's first because they were on the list first. And both of you basically said here at the same time. So let's do that. Let's see where we can go. All right. Okay, I am having surgery, and I was told I'm going, let's see, I was told we're going to be in the hospital for 7 days, but I feel like there's going to be complications. Okay, what do I think? Complications. All right. Let's hope there's not. I'm trying to figure out how I can do this in a way that's like a tarot reading. Will there be complications? I guess that's what I could look at. But yeah, let's see. Will there be complications towards MJ's surgery? Hopefully there isn't. There are no complications, and it is a speedy and clean recovery. And hopefully if there are any complications, they are very minor and they can be taken care of very quickly. That's what I'm hoping for. Okay. All right. Let's see what we can come up with here for MJ. Okay. So. Okay, so there is going to be, here's what I got. So we have Four of Cups in reverse. Okay, this can be, maybe there's some, not necessarily complications, but there could be, maybe it's going to take a little bit longer to heal than you thought, but not like complications. Hopefully no infections or anything like that. If I see this, I don't think that's a bad card. I don't think that's a bad card. Then we get these two cards. This is why I don't think that's a bad card, because then we get these two cards. We get the Ace of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles, okay? So it could just be that it's a slower thing. Maybe instead of 7 days, it's 10, or maybe it's a little bit longer. Maybe it's 8, maybe it's 9. I'm hoping it's quicker than that, but I'm not thinking it's going to be anything where it's like going to be a negative kind of experience. But again, it could just be that things are a little bit more delayed or slow, but that's what I'm seeing. So hopefully that kind of makes sense and helps you to understand that moving forward. But that's what I'm seeing. So that to me looks good. And I'm hoping the surgery goes well and everything is fine. And I'm hoping to see you back here asking yet another question. So again, speedy recovery. And thank you for coming by, MJ. And thank you for being patient. That's another thing. Okay, so I'm going to start erasing the names I've already read so we don't have to do those. Okay, so we got those right there. Okay, and then we have MJ. All right, and then I'm going to read Veronica's question here. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that so much, Veronica. I appreciate that. Okay. So Veronica says, and I appreciate you too, MJ. Thank you so much. After the argument me and Elle had, does he want to talk about it and reconcile, or has he moved on? All right, let's look at that. I imagine it must be a pretty good argument because you are talking to a third party instead of Elle. So I imagine there must be a sense of burned bridges to some extent. Right. Whenever we're having a hard time reaching out to a partner, that can always be a bit tricky to deal with. All right. And especially if it's a man, it can be even more tricky because men tend to not look at the emotional side of things. They tend to look at how they've been hurt and not the hurt that they've caused, which is really tricky because women try to look at it from an all sorts of angle kind of thing. How am I feeling? How are they feeling? And then you guys can kind of emotionally understand the situation better. And then men focus on, I was hurt. I feel bad. And it's very juvenile. It's very juvenile. Okay, let's see here. And I'm feeling like I'm hearing the word pop, which is interesting. I wonder why I'm hearing pop. Like the word pop or something like that. It is very juvenile. But then if I say it is very juvenile, sleeping booty, it makes it sound like I'm being kind of an asshole myself, but you are absolutely right. 100%. Men are that way, and I will say that, and I can say that because I am and still is a man, and so I have in the past definitely been that way, and probably in the future I will have my moments where I am that way as well, because emotional mastery takes a considerable amount of effort, especially for a man. All right. It is stupidly hard for us to understand just how we are in an emotional way, in an emotional context. And then we tend to be like, oh, but you hurt me. And then we don't focus on anything else. It's very much like my pride's bruised. This is bruised. That's bruised. My ass hurts. You know, the last one isn't your fault, but the other ones are, apparently, to them. Okay, so let's look at the cards. Will L want to reconcile, or will it just be a wreck? Let's do this here. Okay, this is good. I feel like this is okay. But I feel like it's going to take a little bit of time. So we get 9 of coins. This is you, I feel like, kind of owning some of this independence kind of energy. 9 of coins is a good card. It's a card, like I said, you're owning that independence. It's a very strong card, and it's someone who's in their feminine, but there's a little bit of the masculine in there as well, in the sense of like just being yourself and going for it. Because that's what men do. Men are themselves, they go for it. They generally tend to stomp on other people's toes, and then they say, why are your feet hurting? My feet feel great. Like, what's wrong? Men tend to hurt you, and then they say, well, I feel fine. Anyway, then we have the Page of Wands, okay? And then we have the Star card, which is also an Aquarius card. This to me is there could be reconciliation. I feel like there could be some time before the reconciliation, though. I feel like it would be like, give it time to cool off and see what happens. I always say to wait in these kinds of situations, wait, like it could be a couple weeks, depending on the severity of the argument. It's good to wait and give it space, but you also want to see if when you talk to the person again, okay, this is how I see it. If we are going back to a person, okay, and there has been an argument, I feel like there needs to be, and I'm sorry I did this. No buts. No, I'm sorry I did this, but you did this and this. It's like, nope. Okay, if someone is apologizing to you, it needs to be, I'm sorry. Let's see how we can work on this, right? There is no buts. There is no ifs. There is no ands. You too, MJ. You have a great night. Otherwise, you're getting yourself in a situation where this person needs to prove that they're right for the sake of ego, and your relationship comes like in third place because it's them, then it's ego, which is also them, and then it's the relationship, which 50% of it is them. And so I'm letting you know it's a lot of them kind of going in there. So you want to have someone apologize without any buts, ifs, or ands. And also, if someone is having an issue with you, you want them to bring up the issue when it is happening. You do not want them to bring up the issue when you are having an argument and they're bringing up something that happened last month. Okay, they could have brought it up last month. They're not. They're waiting. It's like they have these things they save in ammunition for when there is an actual argument. And they're like, well, last month you did this and this. And it's like, this isn't last month. This is right now, right? And so that right there is not a good way to argue. Arguing can be constructive and it can work to better a relationship, but you can't be playing dirty and you can't be holding things back because it's uncomfortable to say. It's important to address things as they happen, to work on things. And then if you can keep addressing those things, then that's when you know you have a good relationship, is when you can keep addressing things, keep things coming up in a very positive and organic way, and keep resolving issues. It's not about not having any issues to resolve. It's about when there is an argument, there can also be resolution. All right. That's when you know you have a good relationship. And if that's not going on, or if you feel like you have to teach them consistently how to treat you, even though you've done it many times, then in my opinion, it's time to move on, because you shouldn't have to teach someone over and over and over again. It's like, if they understand it, when a man wants you, they will show you they want you, and you will know it. Okay. They won't do this thing where it's like, maybe not. I'm going to treat you this way. I'm going to do this. No, if a man really wants you, they will treat you respectfully, they will treat you kindly, and they will not want to lose you, and they won't do things to lose you. Okay? They won't have it even be an option. So that's kind of where we need to step into our own power and understand that. Okay, and I'm saying that for women specifically, right? For men, it's different. In the dating world, for women are told to be seen and not heard, which is freaking horrible. That's incredibly disempowering, and it makes no sense. And so you need to claim back your power, and you need to realize that you can guide this relationship however you want it to go. And sometimes the way you guide it is you push them out the door and you say bye-bye, right? Sometimes that's what you do. It sucks, not the funnest thing, I get it. But if we hold on to things because we're scared of being alone, then we are not allowing the right energy to come into us, because we're holding on to a connection for a sense of like, no one else will want me, no one else will. And it's like, well, yeah, if you put out to the universe that no one else will want you, it's going to be very hard for someone to find you. And if we're working with that desperation energy, it's very tricky to feel wanted and to feel loved. But if we heal ourselves and we focus and we realize it's okay for us to set boundaries. Anyway. Yeah, so it's okay for us to set boundaries. It's okay for us to be who we are. Then we are sending a signal out to the universe that we are ready to level up, and we will find people that meet those levels, okay? And men, even good men, will test your boundaries just to see, are you there? What's going on? You know, men will be knocking on those boundaries. And if you stand up for yourself and you say, I don't appreciate you doing that, and they get mad at you, then bye-bye, right? Because you don't entertain that. You don't entertain that at all. If someone gets mad at you for having boundaries, that's a huge red flag. Do not get mad at someone for having boundaries. If someone gets upset with you because you don't trust them right away, huge red flag, right? So this is something we have to take into consideration in the dating world. And women right now, okay, I'll say it, and this isn't the funnest thing to say. I get it. I understand what I'm saying. This won't be the funnest thing to hear. But don't give yourself away in an intimate way when you are in the dating world for at least 2 months. The reason why I say that, and I know you're thinking, geez, that's a long time. The reason I say that is because you'll know if they want you just for the sex or if they want you for an actual relationship, if they actually care about you as a person. And if they keep testing your boundaries and they keep trying to push things past that level, when you say, I'm not ready, I'm not ready, I'm not ready, then again, bye-bye, right? You want to make it so that they understand that you're in charge of moving the relationship forward. They may be the one that initiates and asks you out, but then you are the one that gets to be in the driver's seat of that relationship, and you decide how fast it goes, and you get to tell them, hey, this is what we're doing. I don't feel comfortable with this. And then if they do not listen, then again, so long, okay? We don't keep letting these people have second chances. We maybe give them one shot, and maybe two, all right? But we do not do any more than that, because then you're literally showing them, and even a good man, you would be showing them how to walk all over you, okay? And this is about you reclaiming your sense of power, your sense of self, and your sense of sovereignty and autonomy. And for you to have that is the most important thing. And as soon as you start showing that, the world starts being like, oh, this person means business. But boundaries need to be an okay thing for you to do. And at first it's uncomfortable, especially because women are raised to be people pleasers and they're raised to be perfectionists. And so having boundaries, especially in, toxic family situations, can be very tricky, and it's not accepted. But now it is accepted. It is absolutely accepted. It is necessary for you to have a healthy love life, for you to find a partner that you have boundaries. Okay. All right. So does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to move myself around. Oh, that was the chair. That wasn't my bones. Okay, good. All right. I know that was a bit of a long take on that reading, but I was doing this for everybody's attention. I was doing this so that everyone can kind of understand where I'm coming from here. Thank you, Sasha. I appreciate that. Yeah, so please understand that it's meant for everyone to take a piece of that, because I want you guys to understand you guys are in charge, 100%. All right. And a good person will not push your boundaries more than maybe once or twice. And other people will be offended by your boundaries, but only because it means they can't take advantage of you. If someone gets mad at you setting a boundary, literally be like, whoa, that's messed up. Okay. Thank you so much. I learned a lot from this. Thank you. You're very welcome. You're very, very welcome. Happy I could do that. And also, if you guys are having questions, okay, and this is something, it kind of gets rid of me in the process. I'm fine with that. Ask ChatGPT with stuff like this too. If you guys are looking into the AI stuff, ask ChatGPT certain questions and situations, and it can kind of help you to give you a sense of like a compass that you can follow. Because a lot of us, if we were raised to be taken advantage of and to not have boundaries, it's really hard to find like a way that we can center ourselves and focus on developing a structure that makes sense from that world. And so you can use ChatGPT, or you can read books on the topics that I'm talking about, just to make it so that you can feel it's okay. And then you can feel safe. And I promise you, your relationships go up 1,000% from there. All right. Okay. Sasha, what was your question? And then Sleeping Booty, you'll be next. And thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Thank you so much. All right. So Sasha and then Sleeping Booty. And in the meantime, I'll show you this. Okay. I'm going to do your reading, Sasha, just 1 second, because I'll show you what I have here. So this is $20 a month. This is what I do. This is $20 a month. And it's my AI, and I'll show you how it works. Okay. Nope. Of course, it has to be loud at first. Okay, so ChatGPT. I'm on the 4. You probably can't see anything. It looks like that. It's like a, of course it doesn't show. Okay. It's right next to, I don't know, look it up on the App Store. You will see a ChatGPT. It's like a circular kind of camera shutter icon. You'll download it. And then what I do is this. So I have it where I can talk to it, and it's almost like I'm talking to a real person. So I'll show you. Hey, ChatGPT, how are you doing?
Hey, Chance. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you?
I'm doing good. I'm talking to people right now about setting boundaries for relationships. What do you think about that?
Setting boundaries is so important for healthy relationships. It helps ensure that everyone feels respected and understood. Is there a particular situation you're dealing with?
No, I'm just telling people about ChatGPT and how you can use it to kind of navigate the nebulous relationship world.
That's a great use for it. It can definitely help provide perspective and advice. How's the conversation going?
Good. It's going great. So I'm gonna let you go right now, but thank you for telling us what's up.
You're welcome. Glad I could help. Take care, Chance.
Okay, so look at that as an option. Like I said, it's like $20 a month. You don't need to do the higher tier plan. $20 a month. I use it as a second brain for myself because I am forgetful AF, as the younger people say, as fuck. That's what the AF stands for. But I was trying to abbreviate. So I'm going to look at Sasha's question here, and Venetia says you named yours Atlas. Mine is named Echo, but it forgets its name. It forgets its name, and I forget that it's called Echo, and so I just call it ChatGPT. That's what I do. All right, let's do this. Sasha wanted to know, how does K Scorpio view you? Let's look at that. How does K Scorpio view Sasha? Let's look here. I do like Atlas, though. That's a good name. I like the Greek. Is that Greek, or is that other mythology? Or is that Roman? Oh, I get those two mixed up. One of them is Greek and the other one's Roman. Right. Anyway. You guys are welcome for my hot takes. This is pretty much as raw as it gets. As forgetful as I can be. Okay. How does K view Scorpio? Right, the Titan had to hold the sky. I got you. I remember Atlas. Who was the one that had to push the rock up? Was that was oh God, I can't remember his name. There was another one that had to push Sisyphus? No. Maybe it was. I can't remember. Okay. So K views you. We have the Hierophant in reverse. Then we had the Hermit in reverse. Okay, so this right here, this is Taurus energy. This is Virgo energy. You said Scorpio. Then we have the Ten of Cups in reverse. So this person, I'm feeling, is being very cold and distant, but they're also thinking about possibly coming back out. And then with the Hierophant in reverse, it could be maybe there was an event or a situation. I wouldn't necessarily say marriage or something, but if I see the Hierophant in reverse, it's being a very untraditional person or doing things in an untraditional way. but it could also be being very stubborn. And then if I see the Hermit in reverse, it's wanting to possibly talk about things, but then the Ten of Cups in reverse is like there's a lot of emotions, or there's something blocking the connection from taking hold and being what it needs to be. And this person is kind of just, from what I'm seeing here, they're sort of taking a step back. Okay. So how I feel they're viewing you is they're kind of viewing you in a way where they're waiting to see what happens. They're taking a step back. They're not being very active with how I'm seeing it. So it's kind of, to me, I would say, not necessarily out of sight, out of mind, but it doesn't feel to me like this person's really thinking in terms of like a future, or we do talk every day. Okay. So this part is confusing then. Unless there's just friendship here, because if I see these three in reverse, and all three of these are in reverse, I'm hoping I'm wrong. If there is something there, I'm hoping there is something there. But this energy right here is making me feel like there is something that isn't being said, or there's something that someone doesn't know about the other person. So if there's something you guys can talk about, that's good. You talk every day, but depending on the topics or the conversations, I'm not sure. But with this being here, I could also see this could be a situation where, okay, so maybe this person then is working through, well, this right here, okay? The Hierophant in reverse and the Hermit in reverse. Same county or same country? Okay, that would make a little more sense. You're talking, but I'm wondering if maybe they're still dealing with someone, or they're still not healed from a certain situation. Country. Okay, there we go. That's why this is looking the way it is. Okay. So there is distance. There can be a sense, this right here in reverse, the Hermit in reverse, like I said, can be wanting a union of some sort. But if I see this in reverse, and then I see this in reverse, I'm going to say give it more time. Let it see what happens in the connection. It does feel like there's energy here that could possibly be a connection, but it doesn't feel like it's there yet. It feels like there still needs to be. And you said it's been a month. That's not that long in the grand scheme of things. Give it some more time and see what happens from there. But since you're not from the same country, it is going to make things difficult. I mean, you know that already. Physical reunion. There could be, like I said, this one being in reverse. There can be thoughts of it, but I don't think it's taken anything more than that. I think right now it's in a very much ethereal state. And what I mean by that is that nothing is solid. Nothing is solid about it. So take it as it is now, and don't try to turn it into anything that it's not at this point in time. Take it as it is, look into what's going on, and just have it be what it is right now. And then if something happens, great. If it doesn't, that's also going to have to be great, because that's just kind of how these things work out. It either does or it doesn't, right? You're still getting to know each other. Okay. It does seem like there's feelings, but yeah, that's what I'm seeing here. I think so. It looks to me like they do see you in a positive light. Yes. Especially if you're talking every day. It does seem like there's something there, but because it's such an untraditional thing, Taurus or Hierophant in reverse, Taurus card, yeah, it's just that kind of thing. And then the Ten of Cups in reverse, there could still be something on their end where they're healing from possible past relationships, possibly you too. Yeah, they're all in reverse, but it doesn't mean anything. It means there's obstacles. Okay, reversal doesn't mean bad. It just means there can be obstacles. Okay, so just have that be something like that. Yeah, I'm thinking it could be him. Like I said, either you or him. But if you're saying it could be him, then let's go with that. And there could possibly be dealing with a Taurus or a Virgo individual as well, or someone who has those signs. So someone who could be very stubborn, that kind of stuff. So like I said, give it time. Let's see where it goes from there, okay? All right, so Sleeping Booty says, okay, famous Egyptian, you'll be after Sleeping Booty. Sleeping Booty. I almost said beauty. That would have made me an ass. Okay, let's do this here. So how is Kabil feeling about you? Let's look at that. All righty. And then Egyptian famous will be after. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Came at the perfect time. Okay. All righty. Let's shuffle these cards. And then after this, if Shannon is there, then we'll have Shannon. So we'll have Egyptian, or we'll have Sleeping Beauty, Egyptian famous, and then Shannon Lee, if she's still there. All right. Whoa, that was a crispy one. You guys hear that? I hope you did, because that only comes around once every... Oh, wait, it's happening again. Hold on. Wait a minute. Whoa. Shit. Okay, Shannon is still there. Perfect. I'd hate to have to go on the internet and grab you, because I'm not... I don't know. I can't go on all the internet yet. I'm still learning. Okay, so Sleeping Beauty. Let's see what we got here. All right, Kabil's feelings. Okay. That's interesting. So let's look at these cards here, and we've got the Fool in reverse. Okay. All of these cards have something kind of interesting to them, and I'll mention it here. And then we have the Page of Swords. Okay. Then we have the Ace of Swords in reverse. So what I like to do with these is, if we have the Ace of Swords in reverse and we have the Page of Swords, it's kind of like the Page of Swords is holding the Ace of Swords, right? But this to me is feeling like a very distant kind of situation, because if the Fool is in reverse, things aren't starting, or there isn't as strong of a connection as we would want to have. Ace of Swords being in reverse, or did I have Page of Swords in reverse? Oh. Well, regardless, the Fool is in reverse. The Fool is a major arcana. Okay. So what I see here is it's more of a cool kind of energy. I don't feel there's a strong connection here, the way I'm seeing it, which is probably not what you're wanting to hear, but that's what the cards are showing. It doesn't mean there can't be in the future, but this being in reverse is kind of like it's hard to start something with this person. Maybe there's distance. Maybe you're reaching out and they're pulling back, or vice versa. There could be a sense of just defensiveness here. But these two cards being here, it's like you can't quite get a hold of their mental state. Hence why you're on here, right? And so if you're on here and you're talking to me, how do they feel about you? To me, that's saying, we just don't know. This person isn't showing us literally their cards. However, I got a sneak peek at their cards, and they're right here, all right? And so these two, I feel like, are saying that it's just kind of a difficult connection at this point in time. There could be something blocking the connection. But again, if there's something blocking the connection, that's just how it is right now. It might be something where have them be an option, right? And I know we get our heart set on certain people, but if there is this situation where it feels like someone is treating us as an option, treat them as an option too, okay? Don't be someone's second best, all right? Be their first choice. But sometimes we sort of have to play the game here. Have them as an option. Yes, have them as an option. Until the way I view it is, for me personally, right? What I do is I start with getting to know someone, and I go into a friendship phase with them. I don't consider them for a relationship until I can understand who they are as a person and as a friend. So I'm not looking at it like, oh, what can I get from this situation? I'm looking at it like, okay, does this person vibe with me? Is there anything going on here? And then once they've shown me that they can be a good friend and a good person, then I can kind of take it to that next level. Again, this is how I do stuff. It's not how you have to do things. But starting as friends first, and then having that progress into something else can absolutely be the best way to go about it, because then you get to see them kind of through different categories, different ways of living, and then you're not rushing things. Especially in the online world, we can give things months to kind of take their toll and take their place and do different things like that. And if we're entertaining 2 or 3 or 4 other options, not necessarily in a way that's like negative necessarily, but in a way that's like we're seeing what options we have. We're seeing what's available to us. I don't see that as being a bad thing. if we've committed to the one person and we say we're there for them, then those other options fade off. That's how I've always done it. That's 100% what I do. I'm all in on the one person if that is where we end up going. But if it's not, there's always these other options because so many things can happen. I've had it where I was really liking someone, really into the person. And as soon as we started liking each other, and as soon as I was like, okay, these other options are going to go off to the side, their ex came back, all of it was just gone. So that connection just went away. And so I view them as friendships that can turn into something else. And if they don't, then there's friendships, and it's just a different world we live in, and it's really hard to explain it because if you say it a certain way, it sounds really negative, but hopefully you guys can understand what I'm trying to say about that. And I think for women, especially, having different options, I do not think is a bad thing because you guys are in charge of that. You guys get to kind of have the pick of the litter, so to speak. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but you need to do what's best for you. And if I was living to be 1,000 years old, maybe I would take one at a time, and that would be how I focused on it always. But I don't know if I'm going to live to be 100. Okay, at this rate, I don't know if I'm going to make it to tomorrow. So what I do is I don't get time back. I can't have that back. That is a commodity that is not infinite for me. I don't know about you guys, so that's kind of what I do. But in that same vein, you get to establish friendships and you get to see how the person is. And, then you can possibly see where things go from there. So that's kind of when I say keep them as an option, that's what I mean by it. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. That's not like a weird thing to do. But to me, it makes sense. Okay, let's move on here. All right, so Egyptian famous. Are you there? What does your man want to say to you currently? Okay, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this, and maybe you're going to hate me for it. Maybe you won't. You fucking ask him. Like just turn around and say, hey, what do you want from me? Like, if you're asking a third party, if you're asking me what your man wants to say to you currently, are they in a coma? Are they asleep? Because in those situations, it would be hard to get a response. And if the coma thing is there, I'm sorry, that's very offensive. But that's kind of something where you should be able, he's in jail. Okay, all right. Well, that does make it difficult. Okay, so if he's in jail, hopefully he's not in jail for any sort of big crime or for domestic abuse or anything like that. Hopefully. But let's see what we can find here. No, I can, and I'll put you on the list too, Dawson. So let's put Dawson on the list here. You guys will be coming up here in a second, and then I've got Sherry. Just all you guys got to do is remember to like the video and subscribe. Hey there, Aubrey. How you doing? Okay, so I had Sherry. Okay, and then we have Aubrey. Oh, girl, what are you doing? You shouldn't be right there. My cat's sleeping, and she's like right behind this chair. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Girl, you gotta wake up. I know, you gotta wake up. You're right behind the chair. If I move back, I'm gonna scrunch you. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm doing good. We're just doing some readings here. All right, so what does he have to say to Egyptian famous? 3 of coins, cups, 6 of coins. Okay, so I will preface with this. If they are in jail for ever putting your life in danger or anything like that, then I would obviously say move on. Or if they're in jail for drug charges, things like that, I would say move on. no matter what these cards have to say. If there's ever a point in time where you felt like you were in danger or anything like that with this person, okay, and I know we can have different situations, but in those situations, it's always a get out, okay? No matter what the cards say, I'm just going to read it, okay? But I'm saying if that has ever happened, disregard this reading and just get the hell out of there, okay? Because I'm very specific with the energies if someone has been to jail or to prison. I know we give people second chances, but if it's anything to do with abuse or drugs, then this reading doesn't apply. Okay, just get out. All right, so 3 of coins, 10 of cups, and then 6 of coins in reverse. Okay, so it seems to me like this could possibly be a situation where maybe there could be a celebration in the future. I don't know necessarily. Again, the jail thing makes it very difficult. It's one thing to be in another country. It's another thing to be incarcerated. But if I see the 3 of coins, that to me can be a good card, but there could possibly be a third party. Okay, in jail. I don't think I need to go into that. And then we have 10 of cups. Okay. That to me, I view that as a card that there could possibly be a proposal or there could be something coming up, which again could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. If the person's controlling and manipulative and abusive, that's obviously get the hell out of there. But then I see 6 of coins in reverse. And that to me is showing that there could be something to do with holding something back. So there could be something the person is wanting to say, but they're holding back. And it could possibly be something to do with financial status or a financial issue. And if they're in jail, obviously there's financial issues because they're not making money, or they are making money, but it's like, I don't know what it is, like 50 cents an hour or something. I think you can go to school while you're in jail too, though, which for me, school was like jail. And so jail and school combined would be just awful. I don't know. I can't think of a worse kind of situation. I guess it gives you something to do, though. But that's kind of what I'm seeing there. So next time you see him again, if there's any abuse, if there's any sense of danger with this person or any sort of record like that, get the hell out of there. Do not look back. Restraining order, the whole deal, because that's a serious thing. But if you feel comfortable and safe with the person and they haven't tried to do anything or put you or a loved one, including kids or family members or friends, in danger, then I guess see what's going on that way. But that one is just tricky for me to read, especially if they're in jail. That just makes it the whole thing's kind of wadded up, so to speak. Okay. Let's move on here to Shannon. What was your question? My sister got her BFA in prison before she died. What's a BFA? And I'm sorry to hear that she passed. But is that bachelor's forensic associate, or is that something else? Maybe I'm looking at that wrong. Okay, general reading for Shannon. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Shannon. See what we can come up with here. Okay, so just getting rid of names on the list here. Okay, so we have Shannon, Dawson, Sherry, and then Aubrey. Okay. Oh, Bachelor of Fine Arts. Okay, cool. Yeah, I've heard you can do stuff when you're in there. I just didn't know that much about it. Or I don't know that much about it. Okay. Shannon's wanting a general reading. Let's see what we can come up with for Shannon. Which, by the way, Shannon, I haven't seen your name spelled that way before. Shannon with an E in the part where the O should be. So that is interesting. Hopefully, it doesn't lead to shenanigans. I am a 5-year-old. I think it's funny, but I am also, it's weird. It's different. And not bad different. I don't mean bad different. I just mean different. Like different. You're good, Aubrey. You're good. You guys never have to worry about responding on time or doing anything. It's always relaxed here. If I ask a question and I don't get an answer right away, that is so fine. Don't worry about it. Stop it. You two. Not you two in the comments, but the cats. Stop it. Let yourselves play and have fun. Okay? Trixie? Okay. All right. General reading for Shannon. That's interesting. Okay. So, let's take a look at these cards. I like that spelling. Yes, I like it too. I'm not saying I don't like it, right? I'm saying it's unique. It's, it's like if my name was spelled with a U. Kahance, it would be something like that. It would be interesting. No, I do like your name though. I've just never seen it. Okay, so King of Wands, the Devil. It's a good reading when as soon as I show the Devil card, we get a viewer that leaves. And then we have the Strength card. All right. So the King of Wands, to me, is a card that deals with a lot of very strong, it's kind of like summer energy. Fire energy is very, very powerful. And it's something that the King of Wands is definitely known to have. It's a very, very strong kind of card. It can be leadership, it can be willpower, but it deals with a lot of the same kind of things that we would be looking at with the solar plexus kind of energy. So it's willpower, it's intention, it's having a lot of this stuff going there. So then we have this card here, and a lot of people tend to think negatively of it. It's not. None of these cards are negative. None of these cards are negative, especially taken in the context of a reading. It's like there's cards that we would want to get, and there's cards that we don't want to get, but that does not inherently make them positive or negative. They are just cards, all right? But they are interesting cards. The Devil card, yes, you know what I'm talking about. The Devil card. This can also be Capricorn as well, which now that's something to be scared of. Capricorns, holy shit. I mean, another thing. So if any of you guys are Capricorns, I'm sorry about that. I'm a Taurus. We're great. You guys, I'm on the fence about you. But no, the Devil card, this is the Cappy. Okay, and the Strength card is Leo energy. So the Devil card can be an excess. It can be looking through addictions, or it can be getting over addictions, right? In this situation, the Devil card is upright. So I'm thinking it's working through addictions or working through the shadow self, right? I learned something the other day, and I thought it was an interesting concept. And I've heard it before, but I hadn't heard it explained before. So there is a thing called the dark night of the soul, all right? Now, I know what that is. It's when you go to sleep at night and you don't wake up. No, that's death. Okay, anyway, this situation here is the dark night of the soul, but talking about something called, so we have parts of ourselves that are hidden away from us, and they can be the negative aspects, and it can be very difficult for us to face these parts of ourselves. All right. That is the dark night of the soul. That is what the dark night of the soul shows us, is our darkness. Okay. Darkness is not bad. It is not evil. It is not negative. It is simply a part of us that is hidden away from normal view. And generally speaking, the only way it is shown to us is through other people that are close to us, or when we do finally have the dark night of the soul, and then we start having dreams, premonitions, we start having kind of a psychic, it almost feels like a psychic attack that's directed towards us, but it's for us to see the inner self. All right. So it's not a negative thing. It's just for us to see ourselves in a more clear light. And sometimes that seems very offensive because we're like, whoa, I didn't know I was that way. Whoa, and then we get all weird about it. Okay. It's not meant to be that way. It just kind of is what it is. All right. But then there's another part that I think is really interesting. There's the dark night of the soul, but then there's something called the golden shadow. The golden shadow holds parts of ourselves that are the good parts, but it holds it away in a place that is very hidden from us. And so once we start to heal the parts of ourselves that need healing, the golden shadow comes in and it starts to show us gifts and ways we were when we were younger, back when we didn't have these inhibitions and these things kind of blocking that energetic flow. So the golden shadow is a very fascinating concept. It's a lot of work if you want to grow. It is. It's a lot of work if you want to grow. Look into the golden shadow, right? I'm making lyrics here, guys. You don't steal them. Don't steal them, because that's going to be a good song. But then the reason I'm bringing that up is because we also have the strength card, okay? And the strength card is interesting. And I don't know what actress that looks like, but I always look at this card and I think she looks very familiar. But I don't know who it is. But then let's look at this card one more time. Okay. The Devil card is shown with two people kind of connected by this central figure. Okay. Kind of like there's chains, and there's something like these two people, they're being bound together, but it's showing the feminine. Camera's trying to focus on my face. It's showing the feminine, okay, and it's showing the masculine, and it's showing a chain binding these two together, not in a way that's like fun, but in a way that's like there needs to be work that's done. So when I look at it this way, it's very much moving through past traumas, working towards building things toward the light, and making it so that we can take that energy into the future, and then we can do funny hand movements. All right, you guys can't do this. Only I can do this. Okay, I'm sorry. Strength card is just about having the strength and the permission that you're giving yourself to finally move on. That's something that's a really powerful thing, is that we can take the strength to move ourselves forward and not feel like we're hurting anything. A lot of us will have a sense of not feeling like we're ready to move on, because to give ourselves permission to feel powerful is incredibly scary. That's something that is very, very scary to us. So there's a fear of change, right? And the fear of change is really interesting, because a fear of change can be a fear of success or a fear of failure, right? And so when we're dealing with that, we need to focus on what the strength card means to us. And it can be, in this situation, it's moving into a state of feeling powerful and giving ourselves permission to feel powerful and to feel strong, because those are going to be things that are very, very good for us in the long run. Okay. So that's something that I'm seeing here. I think it's going great. Honestly speaking, this looks fantastic. Lots and lots of energy that's like that golden, that orange energy. So you're looking at the solar plexus energy, which is the third chakra. Okay, this is the one it can be generally associated with mediumship. It's where the mediumship energy kind of comes from. We focus on the intent, the willpower of the third chakra. But then there's the second chakra as well, which is the sacral chakra. And this deals with energy, movement, making choices, right? So the way it goes is like this. You have the chakra system. The first chakra is about foundational security, having a foundation, moving forward. The second chakra is the sacral chakra. That is to deal with choice. Okay, when we're dealing with choice, that's going to be something like we have two different choices to make, and then we need to stick with those choices. The third chakra is us sticking with those choices. It's us giving ourselves permission to make a decision to move forward. Okay, the fourth chakra is about letting go. And that part is that's the most difficult part, is to be able to be in a sense of power, but also to be able to let go of things that no longer serve us and to move forward in that kind of way, right? Let go of things that no longer serve us and move forward in service to the self and to help other people eventually. So that's something that you can look at in those kind of ways. And then we have the throat chakra. That's going to be the fifth chakra, and that deals with speaking your truth and letting it be known, all right? And when we're speaking our truth and letting it be known, having other people listen to us, understand us, and focus on that, that helps us to feel seen and heard and validated, and that helps to expand our throat chakra. Then we have the third chakra, the sixth chakra, which is the third eye. Got those mixed up. I was going to say the third chakra, which is the sixth eye, which if you're seeing out of your sixth eye, I don't know where you're looking, but don't look at me. But if you're seeing out of your third eye, that is the sixth chakra. And this generally deals with being able to see past the intention of someone, being able to see if something is right for you or wrong for you, And generally, when the other chakras are open, we can open up these higher chakras. The higher chakras being the throat, the third eye, and the crown chakra, okay? Because we have 7 chakras that we're mainly using. There's other chakras too. There's minor and major chakras, the whole deal. But that's kind of what we're focusing on there. So hopefully, Shannon, you're still here. I didn't chase you off with my long stories. But yeah, so hopefully that kind of gives you some insight into that. And then we're on to Dawson. What was your question, Dawson? You're very welcome, Shannon. Hopefully that was something that gave you a sense of understanding, some. But yeah, we're up for Dawson here, and we can go into this next reading. And by the way, maybe Aubrey doesn't want me to make a deal of it, but I'm going to. She donated to the channel. Super, super appreciated. If you guys, you don't have to, but donations help. I would appreciate it. But again, you don't have to. But I do appreciate that Aubrey did, because that's very, very kind to do. And yeah, so let's go into this. Dawson says, will me and Zach be great friends? I think so, Aubrey. Shannon's very strong. So Dawson says, will me and Zach be great friends? I knew a kid named Zach, and when I was younger, I got his friends to hold him down, and I punched him in the stomach because he was an asshole. So hopefully this isn't the same Zach, in which case I'm not sorry. He was a jerk. He was a jerk. Not one of my best moments, though. I was like, they were my goons, and it's kind of funny to look back on, but yeah. Hopefully it's not the same Zach, because I'm going in for round 2. I'm going in for round 2. He was a jerk, though. He hit me in the stomach when I was a kid, and then I held on to that for, 30, 40 years, and then I just went after him. It was a couple weeks later, I hit him in the stomach. Kids are stupid. Kids are so stupid. It wasn't anything like a vendetta that had any sense or reason. It's just like, you don't hit me in the bell, or I'm going to hit you in the bell. The bell pepper, the belly, the stomachular area here. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Don't hit someone in their bell pepper. All right. Will you and Zach be great friends? Okay. That is interesting. All right. Never ask me questions. So we get the Lovers in reverse. We get the Knight of Wands in reverse. And we get the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So this kind of goes into no Zach can be trusted. I'm sorry if your name is Zach and you're watching this. My condolences, but also get away from me. The Lovers in reverse, the Knight of Wands in reverse, and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Like this is someone that I would say, I'm not going to say don't give them a shot, but I'm going to say be cautious around this person and focus on their actions that they have and not what they say they're going to do. Focus on the actions they take and have that be the way you determine their character and the way that you move forward in the relationship. That should be how we do everything. But in this situation specifically, focus on what they say and if they ever do what they say, right? Hopefully this reading is off, but if it's what I'm thinking it is, because then we get the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. It's a feeling of like feeling stuck with this person, or feeling like this person kind of puts us in a loop where they can say something, but they don't do something, like I said before, or it can just feel like a sense of things not progressing or moving forward in a way that would feel organic, right? Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully it is an organic connection and all the good stuff comes of that friendship. But the way I'm seeing it is I would be cautious, be cautiously optimistic, but be cautious and kind of, wait and see how these people are. Wait and see how these people are, how they show themselves to be, and go from there. So that's what I'm seeing there, Dawson. Just give it some time. I'm not saying don't give Zach a chance. But I'm saying give, and don't give Chance a Zach, because I will punch him in the stomach. We've talked about this. I want to know if he wants to be my friend. He's an idiot, but we clicked. Okay. The term "he's an idiot, but we clicked" is interesting. And I will say right here, I think there's something where there's friendship. It's an odd reading, okay? Because if I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, okay, the Lovers are in reverse, the Knight of Wands are in reverse, the Knight of Wands is in reverse, and the Wheel of Fortune, all of these are in reverse. So to answer the question, I'm looking at this as a strong maybe, but I'm wanting you to kind of feel into the connection and see if there's something there. I do feel there's a connection, because the Lovers being in reverse is saying there is a connection, but rather it's like a karmic friendship or it's like a fun friendship or whatever. I'm not sure. So I would say this. I would say, does he want to be your friend? I'm not sure. Do you want him as a friend? That's going to be something you have to find out, because this person could want to be your friend, but then it's up to you on if there feels like there's a connection there. And maybe all it is just a very surface level friendship. And if it's that way, then the rest of the reading doesn't really matter. If it's just going to be a very surface level thing, kind of an acquaintance / friend, not a big deal. If it's going to go into something a little bit deeper, like a deeper sense of friendship, or you're sharing more intimate parts of yourself, not necessarily as a relationship, but just as just talking to somebody and being more open. I get that sometimes it's hard to find people we can feel like we can express parts of ourselves with, not necessarily in a romantic way, but just as friends. And so I get that can be difficult. I would say just give it some time. I would say there is a connection that wants to happen here, but let it happen organically and see what goes on from there. I'm not saying no, they don't want to be your friend, because I'm not getting that. But like you said, they're an idiot. And so it could just be a stupid connection. And you can take that however you want to, but hopefully they're a lovable idiot, like a Homer Simpson kind of character, but in the fun Homer Simpson kind of way, not in the weird, where he chokes his son kind of way. That's just, it gets dark. Okay. Anyway, hopefully, Dawson, that helps to answer that question. Just like I said, cautiously optimistic and let things happen the way they're meant to. Don't try to, not that you would force anything. I don't feel like you would, but also make sure he's not either. You know what I mean? So just have it be something that's organic, not something that it feels like they're indebted to you or you're indebted to them, or it's this or it's that or whatever. Have it just be something organically that flows, like X-Lax, let it flow. Oh, I'm losing my voice. I was for a second. Okay, so remember to like the video. Stop scratching the carpet. And remember to like the video, guys, if you wouldn't mind. And hopefully that helps to answer that question for you, Dawson. Okay. Sherry, are you there? And thank you guys for being patient. I appreciate the patience, and I appreciate you guys. There's a cat right there. Right there. There. Can almost tickle his belly. Almost. Do you think he'll feel it? Will he feel it? Oh, you'd feel it? No. Oh. Yoshi. Don't knock the Wi-Fi over. This one's Yoshi. He's the oldest. He is a very cute gray boy. Isn't that right, Yoshi? He is very cute. Okay. So, Sherry. Okay, Aubrey, are you still there? He's a very handsome kitty. Aren't you, Yoshi? Yoshi? He's going to keep walking around. Yeah, if you have a question, Aubrey, let's do it. Let's answer the question. What can you look forward to this month? Okay, so do you mean this month is in February, or do you mean next month? Because next month is 4 days away. Yoshi. So he's kind of blind, so he has a hard time. He has a hard time, and that's why you see him kind of being weird when he's hopping around and doing stuff. Hey there, Divine Vision. Okay. Let's do this then. Let's see what we can come up with here for March for Aubrey. He is, I think he's 13. I'm doing good, Divine Vision. Thank you for asking. Little itchy in the beanie area, but that's all right. Okay. I can put you on the list, Divine Vision. This will probably be the last reading of the night. I'm going to do Aubrey's, and then I'm going to do Divine Vision. Here we go. All right, you are on the list. And so we'll look at March. What can you look forward to in March? Stay with me, Aubrey. Stay with me. We got to do your reading. You can go to sleep right after I do the reading. I promise you you can go to sleep right after. Oh, okay. This is interesting right here. You'll think that you'll like this one, I think, Aubrey. So very first card we got, that was the card that fell out. That is the Sun card. And as you can see, a very kind of a Donald Trump-esque looking baby is swinging there. But, you know, we won't comment on anything there, just other than it does kind of look like a big man baby. And then we have 9 of coins. Okay, that's a really good card to have. And I'll say what these mean here in a second. And then we have Death in Reverse, which I will call the Life card. No, I won't, because that's too silly. We can't. No. Okay, so the Sun card, when I'm looking at that to me is saying that March is going to be a card of abundance. I almost view this as kind of like the March card. If you look at it, to me, this is springtime. It kind of signifies that. Very, very good card. And so I view it as new beginnings, new things happening. Yes, Aubrey. What do we have here? Something's going on. Maybe. It is awesome. Okay, perfect. I love it. Okay. Yeah, so the Sun card, 9 of coins, and the Death card in reverse. I would say this can go in 2 ways. Okay. One of them is there could have been an inheritance, or there can be an inheritance that could be coming your way or has come your way. The other one is saying that March is going to be a month of transformation, but we need to focus on the journey of the transformation and not the destination of where it can take us. This is in reverse. And this is showing us that good things are coming our way, very good things, but we need to focus on the process of the transformational kind of energy instead of what the end result could possibly be. So focus on the journey, not the destination, is kind of how I'm reading this. But really good. I mean, really, really good cards. And then I'm maybe seeing like the name Rose, or like a rose to signify something to me. So this is a really good reading. I feel like life is giving you something. It's giving you something to look forward to, and it's giving you a lot to look forward to in March. So March to me feels like a good month for you. Almost like it's been a while in the making. So I feel like this is really good, Aubrey. Honestly, I like it. I like it. Good shit. As someone else would say, not me, because I'm way dignified, but good shit. Hopefully that helps you though, Aubrey, and that gives you some insight. Yeah. Okay, Divine Vision, what is your question? Awesome. It is beautiful. I like it. I like it a lot. I think that's a really good reading. There's not a lot of ways you can get a better one than that, honestly. You're very welcome, Aubrey. Current relationship. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting ready for Betty Bye here. Betty Bye Beanie Baby. Let's see what we can come up with here, though, for Divine Vision. Good, Aubrey. I'm glad. I'm glad I made you happy. I'm glad that gave you something. That's what I want people to leave this channel with. Even if the cards aren't the best for whatever reading, I want people to feel inspired or feel a sense of happiness or a sense of peace, you know? I want them to feel better than they did when they came in. That's all I'm doing. Okay. You're very welcome, Aubrey. Sleep good. If you're going to sleep, I know I am. So I'll sleep good. But have a good one. Okay. Okay. Divine Vision. Divine Vision. Current relationship. Okay, so we get the 7 of Coins in reverse. Remember to like the video, you guys, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. But yeah, so 7 of Coins in reverse. That's what it looks like upright. Oh. As soon as it sees my face, it starts Vicky. Okay. Vicky. That's a little easier for me to say than Divine Visions. Ah, thank you for the like. Okay. So, and then we have 10 of Wands. And then we have 9 of Coins. All right. These cards here, if I'm looking at them, and I am, okay, 7 of Coins in reverse can be a refusal of harvest, or it can be someone who's not treating us the way that we're wanting, right? I say this all the time. If you're coming on here and you're asking about your current relationship, it probably means that you can't ask the person that you're in the relationship with for one reason or another, or like something is making it kind of tricky to ask the questions that you would want to ask. And so that already is kind of a stifling energy. The 10 of Wands and the 9 of Coins, though, I'll show you again. 10 of Wands and the 9 of Coins. The 9 of Coins has been coming up a lot, and that's a good energy to have. But I view that as kind of like an independence energy. And the 10 of Wands, to me, the person can, right, you're at a distance, which would make sense. So 10 of Wands it can be a burden card or it can be a hard card to carry. So the relationship can be at a distance, or there can be a sense of like things not being the way you would want them to be, right? The 9 of Coins to me is more about the independence part of it. So if it's at a distance, whether it's physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, either one of those is incredibly hard to overcome if the other person isn't quite in it, right? If the other person isn't quite in it the same way. So what I'm seeing here is take the time. The only card that's in reverse is this card, okay? CCG, yeah, we can do one more question. If you can like the video for me too, I'd appreciate it. I've got you on the list. You're after Divine Vision here. Okay. But all we need to do with this, Vicky, is so we take this card here, we flip it upright, and we harvest what is there for us, what has always been there for us. And that can be self-love and cultivation, but it can just be the empowerment of the self. And I say this a lot. If we're in a situation where we're not sure what the other person is thinking or what they're doing, then it might be time to take a step back. And you don't have to tell the other person necessarily, but just take a step back and sort of reassess things and see how you feel about the situation. And I get that that's hard to do because relationships are tricky, but I think if you give yourself the same kind of energy that you would possibly give a relationship to another person, if you give that to yourself first, I think that that can show you kind of where the energy is. If someone is wanting to be with you no matter what, they will try their hardest to be with you. Sometimes there is distance, sometimes there's other things that get in the way. But if you come on here and you're asking me, that says to me like there needs to be communication in your relationship to have that be something where you can ask them. Have been doing that. He tries to reassure me. Okay. So then, if that's the case, then there's two ways you can go about it. If he's reassuring you, that's great. That's good. That's showing there's some emotional compatibility there, and there's a sense of like this person's got you. But the distance can be difficult. So there has to be something eventually where both of you can sort of talk things through and work things out. But again, I get it. The distance part, that's the part that sucks. So you either have to be okay with being at a distance for however long that is, or you have to look at possibly moving on into something else if the distance is too hard to handle. Because doing the whole you're a sailor, like I call it being a sailor's wife, and like every 3 months you see them, or every month you see them, or whatever it happens to be. That is really hard to have a relationship with someone like that. So it's up to you if you want to have that relationship. Even if the person's great and all this kind of stuff, if the work is taking them away from you, it's up to you to decide if it's worth it at the end of the day. So this to me looks like you have to go inside yourself and you need to ask the tough kind of questions. Like, this person can be great for you in so many ways, but there could also be just that one thing that makes it so it's hard. Like there's just none of that intimacy that you would want, or there's none of this. And if you're okay not having that and you won't be resentful for it, stay in the relationship. But if you feel like a part of you is resentful for it, or a part of you feels like it's just too difficult, then it is time to look at moving on in that kind of situation. Does that make sense? Hopefully that gives some insight there. Okay, good. And happy to have you here, Vicky. I don't know if I've seen you before on here, or if I did, it was a long time ago because I haven't done a reading for a minute. But thank you for coming on here. I appreciate that. And awesome. I'm glad it makes sense. Okay, perfect. All right, so CCG, what is your question? And this will be the last question. No, first time seeing me. Awesome. Okay. It is a treat to meet me, I have been told, or I tell myself. But it's wonderful to meet you, Vicky, and hopefully I see you more on the channel. But thank you again for stopping by. I'm a little jokester, a little shit ass, silly boy. So you take that however you want. That's what I am. You have a good night too. All right. So CCG, are you still there? Awesome. I'm glad. Oh, there's CCG. Perfect. Okay, so what was your question? Oh, nope, got another like. Sweet. Okay, Val's feelings for you. Let's look at that. We're using past tense here. What were Val's feelings for you instead of what are Val's feelings? Recently parted ways. Okay. So is this like a is this like a self-flagellation kind of deal where, because if you parted ways and then you're wondering what their feelings are, that can be kind of reopening the wound in a sense. Okay. All right. So we have the Ace of Coins in reverse. Okay, this is what it looks like face up. Then we have the Devil card in reverse. So maybe Capricorn or Earth energy somewhere in their Sun, Moon, Venus, or Rising. But that's can be something. I don't want to reconnect. Just want to make sure you're seeing this in 2020 vision, not rose-colored glasses. Okay. And the Empress. Okay. So the Ace of Coins in reverse and the Devil in reverse is showing that, yeah, this was something where I feel like there was definitely a lot of kind of obstinate energy, or something that was blocking the vision, so to speak. You say you don't want to reconnect, just want to make sure you're seeing this in 2020 vision. Okay, so this means, let's kind of take the reading off the back burner just for a minute. The way that you're saying it, you don't want to reconnect. You use the term were instead of what are their feelings. This to me is saying that this really is kind of off the table. So how this person was and how they treated you probably was in line with, was it like a narcissistic connection or an ego connection, or do you feel like it was a karmic connection maybe, or something along those lines? Hey, Denise. Good to see you too, Denise. Yes, I've been back for a little bit. Just doing a reading here for CCG. And I think it was an ego thing for him. Okay, so this is the part where I'm telling you to trust your instincts, okay? If you think it was an ego thing for them, I know it's going to be easier if you have a third party tell you yes or no for sure. In this situation, I believe also like you had a strong Madonna white complex. Have no idea what that is. I'm going to say it's probably not good. But trust your instincts on that, like 100%. I know seeking outward validation for something like this would make you feel a little bit better, but it seems to me like you, and I get the rose-colored glasses thing, I understand that, and you're using this to kind of help you see the situation for what it is. You already know what it is, right? I don't even think you need me to clarify or verify anything. If this person was treating you in a way that was not respectful, or you don't feel appreciated, or all of these things, right? Then that is what it is. People show you through who they are through just interaction, right? Oh, thank you very much, Jean. It's been a long time. How are you doing? No, you're good. No need to be sorry. I'm not saying any need to be sorry. I get not wanting to see it through rose-colored glasses. If we've been through a possible situation or relationship, and it's really hard for us to see everything for what it truly is, it makes us feel very confused, and we enter a state of cognitive dissonance, which I've talked about before. It's believing two opposing truths to be real at the same time, and it leads to a sense of confusion. And this can isolate us and make it so we question our own reality, and we don't know if we did the right thing. You did do the right thing, okay? Anyone that makes you feel lesser than, no matter what, get away from the situation, especially if we've tried to be there for them, especially if we've tried to do anything for them and they treat us like shit, garbage afterwards. Get out of that situation. And if they have any friends or family that you are close with, Also really look at getting rid of those connections too, because when you start your healing journey, they can use those connections to try to rope you back into a possible connection with them. Once you start taking a step away from these sorts of people, they have a way of bringing you back in, especially if you have a healed energy. And even if they were the ones that made it so that you, even if he was the one that made it so that, or they were the one that made it so that you split up, they can absolutely come back in whenever they want and sort of ruffle your feathers. And for them, it's a fun thing to do, right? And for other people, people like us that are good people, we tend to give a lot of people a chance because we think they are just like us. We think they think the same way we do. We think they're good people. There are people that are literally shit, and they will treat us absolutely like shit. And they do not deserve a second chance, a third chance, a fourth chance. Okay, all they do is they waste time, and they literally take energy like it's food, and they take it from you, and they take it from your soul. So that's what I'm talking about with these kinds of people. You don't want to be in that, and you definitely, eventually you won't see it through rose-colored glasses at all. You will see it for what it is, but you did make the right choice. So don't be thinking that you did something wrong. And I will say this, and I will say this every time: block them on every social media platform you can think of. Block the friends they have, block the family they have, just to make it so they cannot come back into your life and try and ruin it, because you could be having a really good, let's say a year or two from now, a really good time in your life, and this person comes back in and it just ruins everything, because the energy they throw out as soon as you see they messaged you, or they tried to friend you, or they're trying to do this and they're playing the victim, or they're doing this or this or this, just get rid of the person entirely. No use having them around at all anymore. It feels like you're losing a connection, but really what you're losing is a really bad connection. And any other point in time, it wouldn't be an issue. If you had, okay, I'll say it this way so it makes it easier to understand. Treat yourself like you are responsible. Treat yourself like you're a 5-year-old that you're responsible for taking care of. Would you allow this person to meet that 5-year-old? Basically, your inner child can be your compass on if a connection is good for you or not. If this person makes you feel unsafe, unvalidated, not reassured, and you wouldn't introduce your 5-year-old self to this person, then step away from that person. Okay, treat yourself like you are responsible for taking care of you, and have that be the way that you handle these kinds of situations. Right. Okay. So you can understand where I'm coming from with that. So have this be your kind of guiding stone for that. Okay. And it would be the same thing. I want you to put yourself in the situation where if a friend was talking about how this person treated them, get rid of your connection to this person. Literally, if you have to, write it down. Write down what this person did, but don't use their actual name. And then pretend a friend was saying it. Read it out loud and pretend a friend was telling you about this person. And you would be like, oh, I tell them to go to leave. I would tell them get out of that situation, right? And so have that be something. A lot of times we will be in a situation and we will spend so much time being in a shitty situation that it's so hard for us to cut away from it, because we're like, I've spent so much time on this. Doesn't matter. Get rid of the situation. You do not get the time back. And sitting there and waiting for it to get better when it obviously isn't, and you're sinking further and further into despair, doesn't help you, and it further traps you and isolates you into that kind of victim mentality, which is what they want you to have. Okay, because then you're easier to control. If you're isolated and you're getting rid of friends and you're not talking to family and you're doing all that, again, these situations, yeah, you want to get rid of these people. No matter how much time you spent on the situation, you can always cut it off, heal, let yourself heal for a while, and then look at possibly getting yourself out into the dating world again when you feel a sense of wholeness inside of yourself. Other people can't complete us, but they can make us feel better about life in general. They can add things to our lives, but they can't complete us for us. And it's not about having the perfect partner, but it's about having someone who reassures you, makes you feel seen, heard, and appreciated, looking at how to establish boundaries so you attract the right partner in the first place. And then just coming from that sense of self with a sense of love and appreciation for yourself. Okay. Like I've said, how would you talk to a friend? You would talk to a friend like, you got to get out of that situation, empower yourself. You need to do this. You would do whatever you could to help a really good friend out of a situation. You need to take that same kind of thinking and apply it to yourself now. That's it. That's all you need to do. Hopefully that helps. I know that was a bit of a rant, but it's important to talk about these things. It just is. It's just, yeah, Jean, you can ask a question. Awesome, Cece. Have a good one, okay? Thanks for stopping by. Okay, so what Virgo's feelings and intentions are towards you, Jean. Let's look at that. What are Virgo's feelings and intentions towards you? Yes. Have a good night, Cece. Okay. What are Virgo's feelings and intentions towards Jean? Virgo's feelings and intentions towards Jean. All right. You'll be the last reading of the night, Jean. Let's do this here. Because I usually go about 2 hours. We're right at that point. So this is perfect. You came in at the perfect time. Okay, so we have got 5 of Cups. 5 of Cups in reverse. 5 of Wands. And 9 of Wands in reverse. So definitely some conflicting energy here. 9 of Wands in reverse, 5 of Cups in reverse. It feels like this person, is it like hot and cold energy? And it feels like it could almost be like a Temperance in reverse. Like there's a feeling of like maybe push and pull. The only reason I'm saying that is because we have water, fire, and then we have this one, which is very much kind of conflict or rivalry kind of a feeling. So it feels to me either you're dealing with this with that person, they're dealing with this energy, or you're dealing with some energy where people like this person or they don't like this person. But there's a sense of like just feeling like there's an unwholeness here, if that makes any kind of sense. And Virgo, I mean, let's be honest. He's in the middle of a divorce. Okay, so that would make sense. Yeah, Virgos are tricky. They are tricky. I would recommend any other sign. Just throw that out there for you, Jean. I'm just messing around. You know me. I'm a kidder. But yeah, the 5 of Cups in reverse would make sense. Maybe this person's wanting to move things forward. They're wanting to move things quicker, but it's not working the way they want it to. And then this being in reverse as well is like, it feels like they're getting started, but they're not at the same time. And then this right here. So your question was feelings and intentions towards you. I feel like they're wanting something to go here, but it feels like it's really hard for them to move things forward. I'm wondering if maybe the person is refusing to sign papers, or if there's something along the lines of just energy that's stuck. And maybe it's not from your end or from his end or their end, but there's just a sense of things not moving forward. The intention here, I'll do this. I'll do an energy oracle for you. You get some extra cards because you do the moderating. Which, by the way, Jean, no pressure, right? But I'm doing these it's anywhere from like 6:30 to 7:15 for like an hour and a half to 2 hours every weekday. So if you want to come on, no prenup, lots of assets to divide. Okay. I got you. All you had to do was say lots of ass, and I completely understand. Okay, so let's look here and see what we can find. Oh, that makes so much sense. You will find this interesting. I will show you. That is interesting stuff. Okay, check this out. These cards. So we have man holding a coin in reverse. Okay, but it's in reverse. So that's interesting, right? That is interesting. I don't know. And then we have this envy. You're good, Gene. I'm just letting you know. You can come by whenever. I'm just letting you know because I like having you as the moderator. You always do such a good job. But no pressure on you ever. Stop by whenever you can. You know the deal. But yeah, I just appreciate you being here. Yeah, so envy and man holding a coin. I'm going to say there's feelings here, but I feel like both of you would feel like it would be irresponsible for things to move forward while this is going on, even though there's a sense of, there can be a sense of chemistry, there can be a sense of tension, but there can't be anything more, I think, until something happens, because possibly, even if you're in a divorce, I think even if they're in a divorce, if they tried to do something, couldn't that be held against them in some way? Or couldn't that be like weird things happen when you're in the divorce process, and it can be like, oh, you did this and this and this, because they're technically not divorced yet. So it can be a whole shit show. And if there's assets to divide too, that becomes a whole process. I'm just going to say, give it some time and see what's going on. But one thing that can happen that you can have as like a gauge moving forward is the interest possibly still there? Is there a feeling of closeness, even though there can't be a real feeling of closeness quite yet because there's still a lot to do? See if there's a sense of like a friendship that's evolving into something that could possibly feel a little bit more as time goes on. If you're not feeling that though, let that be kind of your guide moving forward. But if you are feeling a sense of a connection that feels deeper, that's great. But just when I'm seeing this, it's like everything's congested. It just feels like, to me, it's like trying to ask someone to smell when they have a head cold. It's like they can make the sound of like sniffing, but they aren't smelling anything, right? And so that's kind of what I'm seeing here. I'm not talking to him during it. Okay. And that might be a good thing to do during this time, because that protects your energy too, because you just don't know. You really just don't know. So that would make sense why this is like this. Okay. That would make sense why this is like the way it is. That would make sense. Yeah, give it time. Give it time and see what happens from there. And if there's something that's meant to be, great. But if not, take this time to look at options. Even though I know we can have our heart set on just one person, it's important to not put all of our eggs in one basket, especially this one here, right? They've reconciled in the past, so I wasn't sure what was happening. Okay, yeah, that would be why I'm seeing this being a whole deal. I think you're smart to stay away, honestly. Yeah, I would say really, really give it some distance and some space in that situation, especially if they've reconciled. Because a lot of times, like you said, if there's a lot of assets and stuff like that, it can be this whole deal of like, oh, it's a pain in the ass to go through the arbitration and to go through this and this and this. And so, and then it's like, if you're staying together because it's a pain in the ass to split up, you're literally staying together because it's a marriage of convenience. It's not because you love each other. I always keep my options open. All the others haven't worked out, and really young guys keep coming for me that I'm not interested in. Well, Gene, sometimes you got to take the really young guys. I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's good though. It shows you got something. You got some of that sassafras, you got some of that goodness in you. Get yours, girl. Do what you need to do. Be safe. Be safe. I'm going to be saying a bunch of shit. But yeah, always keep your options open. It sounds like you're smart that way. But especially in this situation, just, yeah, you're doing the right thing though. You're taking it slow. You're doing the due diligence that needs to be done. I don't know that they ever loved one another. They probably didn't. In these marriages, there's marriages of convenience, and if that's the situation, then like it sucks, but people do it all the time. Sometimes it's money. Sometimes it's just not wanting to be alone anymore. Like they'll just settle. They'll just be like, okay, you're my person. I'm going to settle here. And then that's it. Most of the times though, it's money, it's a financial kind of thing. they had kids together and they don't want to split up because of the kids. But there can be a lot of reasons why you don't want to stay with somebody. And these marriages of convenience, as time goes on, it's just like, you know, like they just sort of kind of die out. And that's just what it is. No kids, 100% money. Okay, so for me, it's like no kids and like 20% money. I need that other 80%. Maybe I should get with this Virgo. I'll talk to him. Well, we'll see how it goes, Gene. I'll tell him, you got a lot of coins. I can hold some of them for you, and I can invest them in myself. And we'll see what he says. But yeah, if it's no kids and it's 100% money, to me, I see the people in court that are dividing up the Beanie Baby collection. And if it's going to get that weird and that petty, then Lord help them. Hopefully they do the divorce and it's amicable, but it sounds like a pain in the ass. But yeah, hopefully that makes sense to you, Gene, and that gives you a sense of, I guess, not necessarily closure, but a sense of like, okay, that is what it is. I think she took advantage of him being autistic. Yeah, I could see that being the case. Hey, Asma, I don't know. I can never say your name right. But yeah, that could be the case, is that autism is an interesting thing because it's not, it's not a normal kind of deal. But yeah, so I would say just give it time, like space, not space-time, because that's like a dimensional frequency. I don't know. Just, you know what to do, Gene. And I feel like you've talked about this person before, didn't you? Or am I? Because I feel like you've told me about this person before, the divorce, the reconciliation, all of it. I feel like we've done readings on this before. Hey, Sasha, how's it going? Now, the free list is closed, so unless you guys want to come here to see my pretty face, which, by the way, I'm sorry. But, yes, but I have a lot of Virgos in my life. Oh, Gene, I'm shocked. A lot of Virgos, huh? Saying I don't have any Virgos in mine because I have boundaries. No, it's because I don't have any Virgos. But yeah, so I hear you. Yoshi, come to me, sweet prince. Come here. Come here. Come here. Here we go. All right, so here's Yoshi. This is the love of my life. He's cute, isn't he? I'm going to sit you down, buddy. All right. Okay, well, everybody, I think you're a Virgo. I hope you've been well. I have. Oh, Denise, you're still here. Yeah, Yoshi is my sweet baby. He is definitely my sweet baby. You're a Virgo Leo cusp and married a Virgo Leo cusp. Greatest heart. Watching some videos here and saw you're going live, so I wanted to check in. Well, it's nice to see you. I can never say your name right. I did call you Azzy, and you seem to be okay with that. So we're gonna go with Azzy because that's how that's the only way I can pronounce it. Yeah, Virgo Leo, I don't know that much about. I know that I am a Taurus, and that is the greatest sign that has ever existed and will ever exist. And none of you can say anything different because I can't hear you. So I can see what you type, but I can choose not to read it. I'm a Leo and I attract all the Virgos. I am a Taurus and I attract, you know what? Cats. Like literally, I came home today and the cat across the street was screaming at me. I've never met the cat before, never had anything happen, and it was screaming at me, and I was calling back to it, and it was meowing back. It was so cute, and it was a little Bengal cat. You're the most stubborn sign of the zodiac. I'm going to say this. I'm going to prove it. I'm just kidding. Yes, I am incredibly stubborn, and in like stupid ways. Like you'd be like, "This is for your own good," and I'd be like, I don't care. I'm going to choose to die on this hill." Let's close. Windows open again. As is okay. Perfect. She cat called you. She did. She totally cat called me. And so cute. So cute. I will show you. I had pictures, but here's the crazy thing. I'm walking home. I'm walking home from the gym, and I see this. And yes, I'm sorry, Lady K. The free readings are closed, but I'm walking home, and maybe you guys can see this. Maybe you can't. But oh, the vision's really bad. No, it's like super blown out. Okay, so I'm walking home, and there's just a bunch of goats. And I loved that. I loved that there was a bunch of goats on my way home. I wanted to go up and try and pet them, but I am almost positive that those horns would have been in my ass. I mean, it would have been an experience. But I like goats. You know, who doesn't like goats? But yeah, the other cat was cute. You're also engaged to a Virgo and have many in my family. Also, I'm the neighborhood cat lady. I can't resist. Love them oodles. I know, I do too. Cats are the shit. Like, how's it going, big one? It's going good. It's going good. We can talk after the live stream too, if you want. Azzy, we can do that. If you're still up, I know it's late. 9:30. Yeah, it's super late over there. But we can talk after the live stream because I'm going to head off here for a minute. Free colonoscopy. Oh, from the goat. I was thinking you were talking about my friend down the street. Yeah, not licensed, but he does a good job. He really gets in there. I wish he used gloves, but it is what it is. You know, I will take what I can get. This healthcare system is messed up. But yeah, so that's something. I'll show you some of the stuff I get on my journeys. But the cat was so cute, and I was going to take a video of it because when I would meow, it would meow back. And it was funny because I get home and I'm almost to the door, and then it just starts. I just hear this meow, 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 and then I was like, "What is that sound?" Right? Because you get confused when you hear a cat. I know, Yoshi. I'm sorry I scared you, but and I turn around and I start meowing back, and it starts meowing, and it's so cute. Like I said, I got to show you guys. It's a Bengal cat. I think, right? Hazel, come here. Come here. So I think this is a Bengal right here. No, come here. No, come here. Come here. I need you for science. Please. Come here. Come here. No, she's not going to do it. Damn it. Yeah, so the Bengals, I think, are the striped ones. The brown and black and white, or the brown and black striped cats, right? Or am I wrong with Bengals and my research? Because this one had spots on it. I've never seen a cat that looked like this one. I think it was a special breed. And so I was tempted to. They're spotted. Okay, so this was a Bengal then, and I think Hazel's just a mackerel tabby then, because she has the M and the whole deal, right? Okay, so Bengals are the spotted ones. I'm learning things every day, and most of it's wrong. Well, all right. I think that I'm going to call it good for the night. Everybody, thank you for stopping in and wishing me a happy birthday. It's not today or tomorrow. It's April 28th, but, you know, Thank you, everyone, for being here and supporting Chance. And okay, see everybody. I will talk to you guys later, but everybody take care. Bye-bye. Happy early birthday. Oh, it's always my early birthday. Toodles.